Hey, hey man, you gotta see this video. I saw it the other day. It's hilarious.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
check this out.
Yeah. Is this a movie?
Hmm? Just keep watching.
As a 22-year-old, I have grown up in the age of the internet. I am pretty used to socializing online and the common practice of curating a specific identity for your social media presence. However, over the past 2 years, I have noticed an increasing polarization of views on social media, which seems to be making our society more and more divided. Despite the progression that society has made in terms of human rights issues and equality, there still seems to be a divide between people when it comes to their ability to tolerate opposing perspectives and differing viewpoints. I personally think that the COVID-19 pandemic catapulted social media culture into greater toxicity, as people had nowhere else to turn but the internet to find connection and a place to voice their views. Social media became the place to be for news, social connection, activism, and many polarizing conversations. Unfortunately, social media is not the best place for complex and nuanced topics. Social media distorts our view of others, making us categorize people as good and bad based on a single post or political belief. We forget that each person is complex and likely holding many wildly different viewpoints at the same time. The more time we spend online, the more separate from humanity in real life we become. In this video, I will be exploring how social media distorts our views and what this means for society as a whole. In his book, Breaking the Social Media Prism, Chris Bale explains how social media algorithms align with the human tendency to seek out information that confirms or validates our worldview. Social media functions as a prism, causing us to assume people are more extreme in their views than they really are, as well as assuming that more people believe those extreme views than actually do. We mistakenly assume that the posts on social media reflect the general population, when in reality, approximately 80% of all content on social media is from only 10% of users. Not to mention that 10% also tends to be more extreme on most of those issues. Chris points out what I've noticed too: the lack of moderate viewpoints on social media. It seems to me like people are becoming more black and white in their thinking, eager to categorize anything and everything as totally good or totally bad, with no room in between. Echo chambers are environments in which people's viewpoints are continually reinforced, and they are becoming increasingly common due to the prevalence of social media. Humans are hardwired to want to belong to a group and be accepted by their peers, so it can become easy for people to adopt the views of the majority to simply fit in. Eventually, they may even start to believe those views, even if they misalign with their true values. Individuals are motivated to engage on social media for many reasons. These include fear of missing out, the desire to find belonging and feel connected to a community, to keep up with trends in the current culture, and to stay up to date on news and what's going on in the world. However, individuals aren't computers, and sometimes information is processed inaccurately. Research has found that those who are more politically engaged tend to be more biased in their information processing than those who are less passionate about politics. People who are political tend to interpret all information through that lens, which contributes to the spread of misinformation, as they often only consume and share social media posts that fit within their ideology. You would think that the solution to this would be to force these people to consume content that vastly contrasts with their views. And there are many people pushing big tech companies to do just that. They want them to implement algorithms that push a wide array of political views. Chris Bale conducted a study that had participants unknowingly follow a Twitter bot programmed to retweet content from the participants' opposing political party. And Chris and his research team found that engaging with opposing views only served to sharpen the contrast between the us and them mentality within the participant. They found that this was the same no matter the participant being in a strong or weak echo chamber. They actually found that those who were only weakly affiliated with a political party prior to the study were more affiliated with that party prior to following a bot that posted content from the opposing party's views. Humans are social creatures, so we learn a lot about the world and what is deemed moral and immoral from the social environments we are a part of as children. Our moods, thoughts, and actions are shaped by the people we are around and who we have relationships with. This is why families, friends, and communities end up sharing similar beliefs and values. This is also how social contagion can begin, as behavior becomes common amongst a group of people and eventually normalized and embedded into the culture. People have a desire to prefer those within their social group, and to punish those who deviate from what they believe is normal and true. Most of us don't want to be punished or deemed abnormal from the group to which we belong, which is why people may go along with what all of their friends are sharing on social media, reposting mindlessly without thinking critically about the content. A lot of the information that gets spread across social media is influenced by emotions and appealing to morality. For example, in a study of tweets concerning polarizing issues conducted by Brady et al. In 2017, they found that those which included moral emotional words in their content increased in transmission approximately 20% per word included. So when we feel morally compelled, it makes us more likely to believe something and want to take action against it. Our emotions are heightened and our ability to think critically is dampened, and it makes us want to just press the share button on that post. It is clear that social media largely shapes the way people view each other and the world around them. We think that with globalization and the ability to reach anyone in the world with the touch of a button, that we are so connected. However, the reality is that real life does not function like the internet, and real life interactions don't work like they do on social media. Social media is not a mirror. As Chris Bale says, it is a prism that refracts our social environment to distort our sense of self and of each other. So how do we break out of the prism, you ask? Chris has an idea. He says, to become aware of the gap between perception and reality, we usually have to experience something that reveals our misperceptions. This has a strong depolarizing effect. He recommends talking to people in real life about their views on current political and social issues, and to just talk to people in general. Todd Rose, a psychologist, suggests that we must create a space that allows for respectful conversations in which both disagreement and common ground can exist at the same time. Personally, I would recommend a social media cleanse. Take a break from TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. Spend more time reading books or news articles from journals with multiple different political biases to get a broad range of perspectives on current events. And like Chris Bale said, have conversations with people and be open to different perspectives and having conversations about issues in a respectful manner. I think if we all stopped yelling on social media and actually listened to one another, there would be a lot more harmony in this world. So if you take anything away from this video, it should be to get off your phone once in a while. Get out into the world, have a conversation with your Starbucks barista. Even if it's about nothing of importance, talking to people in real life makes you feel much more connected than social media ever will.